Oh, back this way?
Yep.
And then my youngest
it's on the left.
is turning.
How's it going, man?
Nine for that one. Cool.
Yes.
Do I need to get checked beforehand by the referee, or am I just going to put them on?
I would put them on, and technically you can wear one layer of tape around.
Yeah.
He's gonna walk around. He's gonna be like, "Did you guys see that?" Good. Deadlift socks. Good. You know the rules. They check those at weigh-ins now, but I know you're gonna be good, right?
What is the guys? Marcellus Williams, aka TheSwolefessor, Educational Health and Social Being, and we are like a few hours out for my next meet. I haven't talked to y'all like in a while. Like, if you follow me on Instagram, you guys already know that I've been prepping, but I have not done a prep series for this or anything like that. And that's because really the purpose of this meet, which is tomorrow, January 20th, Texas State Championships here in Austin, Texas, is really just to test what Brad and I have been doing programming wise for the past 15 weeks. And this meet is just to test what things are like on the platform. And it has gone incredibly well so far. I'm gonna kind of give you guys some, breakdowns over what things have been looking like programming wise, what we've changed and why. For each lift, kind of go over a few things we've worked on tech-wise, and then tomorrow we're going to see if it all comes to fruition. I can honestly say that this has easily been my best prep yet, but the reason why I didn't do a prep series is because, like I said, this is kind of more like a test run, and then I will be doing a prep series for my next meet, which will be May 25th, the Lone Star Classic, but I'll give you guys details on that later. Anyway, the one little caveat, right, is that even though this has been the best prep that I've had, last week, Mark already knows, your boy, I got sick as a dog, man. Like, literally the most sick I've ever been in my life. I got some type of viral infection. The doctors didn't know what it was because I tested negative for everything, so they don't know if it was a false negative for flu, COVID, whatever. And then on top of that, I got a bacterial infection. And I was suffering, man. Like, my lymph nodes were inflamed, my temples were inflamed, had a fever, full body ache, chills, like just a lot was hitting me to the point where I couldn't even get in some of my training in last week. The good news is for this week 3 leading into the week 4 primary, aka meet day, actually went pretty well, about as well as what I could hope. I still hit everything that I was supposed to. I still had a stronger week 3 this block than last block, so we just gotta hope that I'm recovering up to show out tomorrow and do what I need to do. But with that being said, let's kind of get into some of the changes that we have made since I last talked to you guys. So the first thing is, you guys know, as I said, the week 3 going to the week 4. So that's the first thing. We are officially back on 4-week blocks instead of 3-week blocks. And really the reason being is, like, I was running 3-week blocks for the past like 3 years or so, and it was going really, really well overall, but simply due to circumstances that have changed in my life, right? Stuff as simple as, like, hey, you know what? I have a daughter now. I have a, hold on, bro, what?
Apologies, everybody. He has to open the door.
That's crazy. Hold up.
It's kind of crazy that they would just interrupt the video like that, man.
That's crazy. I'm here to help you. I'm grateful.
Is this me video?
Avy, where you at? Go ahead and get in this.
Did Marcellus tell you how I want you to record me at the Arnold, like being a fan,
No.
and not me on stage?
That's crazy.
You didn't let me know nothing.
We're talking about the plan for tomorrow. All right, so
Hey, so what you rob earlier?
this is crazy. He said, "What am I robbing?"
What did you rob earlier?
Oh, you know it's Negroes. You got to cut that part out.
I'm definitely not. I'm definitely not. No, anyway, as y'all can see, you know, the boy AB's here to handle me, you know what I mean? We're gonna bring the energy. The homie Tersa, you know what I mean? She's out here to support, you know what I mean? It's gonna be a good time. Anyway, we keeping all that in. Back to what I was saying. Back to what I was saying. We're back on 4-week blocks, just for the mere fact that I just need that extra week to recover. Because what we were finding was by the time I would get to the week 3 primary, I would be able to kind of manage the lows, but things just weren't feeling quite as good as what I'd want. But then on the week 3 secondaries, I would really start to come alive. So what we were realizing was, like, okay,
due to where my strength level is at now and just my life circumstances, like, cause I have a daughter, I have a roster that's bigger by like 20 to 30 lifters compared to when I was first starting running the 3-week blocks. Traveling way more. Like this past year in 2023, I was out of town anywhere from 2 to 3 times a month. Just a lot of things with the recovery, right? Where before I could push in 3-week intervals and bounce back quickly or make those bigger jumps week 1 to 2 to 3, it's gotten to a point where it's like, okay, I need that extra week to touch something just a little bit heavy to truly prepare me for what I can do. So that's the first thing we changed. We went back to 4-week blocks. As far as the changes for each lift, all in all, things aren't drastically different, but it's just these small little deviations that have turned into a big collective difference. So for the squat, my primary day, instead of it being like a top triple that eventually turns to a double or a single, we're just running singles year round on the squat. The same we do for the bench and the deadlift. Pretty much the mindset behind it is that, okay, I am not super leveraged well for any of the lifts, and that's why just getting that intensity needed on the bench single and the deadlift single my SBD has been good. So the mindset is like, okay, well, why not do that for the squat? Before, it would give me this psychological boost of like, oh, I hit a heavy triple, then a heavy double, and I'm PRing the triple, I'm PRing the double, and then going to the single. But what we found is by the time I get to the single, I'm kind of burnt out. So instead, it's like, okay, we need to just be able to control the regulation and the pacing of the workload and build it up steadily. So having a single year round forces me to do that because I know I'm not going to hit a PR single every month. So it's like, okay, start with the steady load and just try to do a little bit more each block. And that's been really working really well for the squat. Like I said, this is technically the 4th block of the macro cycle going into the week 4. So for the previous 3 blocks, block 1, I hit 518 pounds for my top single for my week 4. Block 2 on the week 4, I hit 529 pounds, and then block 3, I hit 551 pounds, which is the first time that I have hit that weight successfully since the start of 2022. So right around when Laura was born, my clientele increased and everything like that. So one part of that is, of course, from getting my weight back up. I'm finally consistently sitting around like, anywhere from 175 to 176. So 175 are now my low weigh-ins, 176 are like my higher weigh-ins. This is the heaviest that I've been sitting consistently, but also because I'm giving my body time to build momentum instead of trying to push a big, heavy PR squat, whether it's a triple, double, single, every block. I'm just giving myself time to build pace and momentum. The other thing is, instead of having straight sets for my back downs, would be like, a 4x4 or 4x3, where the first couple sets would feel good, then the next 2 sets start to feel pretty heavy. After my single, I have like either a 2x2 or a 2x3, depending on where we are in the block programming. And that's the typical percent drop that we would do, like a 12 to 17% drop from my top single. And I'm able to maintain that for 2 heavier intensity sets. Then after that, we drop down by 8% from whatever that load is for a 2x5 to get my volume in. And that subtle change has been great because I still have 4 total back downs, but instead of it being like 4 really heavy back downs where by set 3 and 4 it's like I feel kind of beat up, I get that intensity stimulus I need from the first 2, and then the second 2 sets are just that lighter, easy to recover from volume. So that's what we're doing on the primary day. As far as the secondary squat day, nothing's changed there. I have like typically a top set of 5 or 4, closer to a medium can undulate to like a triple, and then going to the taper might be eventually become a double, but just a heavier top set to give me a specific stimulus. We know that I had to have that in the 400s and let that steadily creep up to be where I need to be. For example, this past weekend I hit 452 pounds for my my top double. Last block on this week, I hit 441 pounds for the top triple, and having that heavier, like mid 400 pound squat, especially on the week 3 going into the week 4, has me feeling really prepared physically for the heavier weight on my back on the primary day. And then we just have 2 back down sets of 6. The reason it's 6 is because that's about the highest reps I can do before I start to kind of deal with more like form issues. Like I typically don't do well with 7s and 8s on squats, but 6 is a good amount of reps for me to like really get that skill practice in. So that's what we're doing. Then of course the tertiary day, we brought the SSB back in just because everything we tried the tertiary day, not having one, high bar, light, low bar, it's just none of it feels as good as having like an RP based SSB top set than a couple of back downs, especially because it's allowing me to focus on still getting the squat pattern in, but in a way that is like I'm more stacked. It's easier to recover from my back, but I'm still landing these track 4s, still having a natural hinge and driving through. So that's what we've been doing for the squat. It's been working really, really well. And then from an accessory standpoint, we're not trying to do anything with the leg press anymore, the hack squat. We're just belt squatting twice a week because every time I belt squat twice a week, it's done the most for my squat, which just makes sense too. A lot of leg press and hack squats I'm not built really well for, and then even the ones that I am built decently for, I get to a point where okay, I'm able to push these heavy loads on them. I'm getting stronger on these movements, but it's only having so much carryover to my squat because really my quads aren't a weak point for my squat. It's more so, can I keep position as far as my posterior chain and drive through? So the belt squat just has better carryover as far as that. As far as deadlift, the main thing that we changed was instead of having my single on my primary day and then RDLs on my secondary, we took those RDLs, put on my primary day, so my RDLs are my back downs, my primary day for my deadlift. Instead of doing like heavy sets of like 5, 6, or 7, we're doing like 2 sets of 10. Just that way We can control the load management. I'm still getting good work, but I don't have to go quite as heavy, so it doesn't beat me up as much. And then on my secondary deadlift day, we have just practice deadlifts, like an easy 3x3, 4x2, whatever it may be, steady low progression throughout the block, and then with each block starting a little bit heavier. It's just to get practice, because what we were finding was I was getting to a point where just having that one top set on deadlift, even though it's keeping me healthy and I was getting a little bit stronger, I wasn't getting enough practice actually pulling from the floor, and the RDLs just weren't cutting it. The RDLs are great for keeping me healthy and keeping my back in a strong position, but I need to get actual practice pulling from the floor and getting my tech dialed in. So that's what the secondary deadlift day is for. Bench has been the thing that we've changed the most. I'm no longer benching 5 days a week. We brought it down to 4 days a week. Long story short, I brought my grip back into a closer grip, and 5 days a week was really beating it up. So we're like, okay, let's try to go 4 days a week. Still was feeling pretty beat up. So they were like, hey, let's pull some accessory work back. I don't know what I was thinking when I did that. I've always done a lot of pressing accessory work. Not in the sense of like having a bunch of movements, but like usually 2 to 3 movements throughout the week where I'm pushing those really hard. And when we took those out, at first it felt good. It's almost like a little tapering effect, but then I started to feel really flat, didn't feel strong, didn't feel consistent. And we also just found that the closer grip for me, even though historically when I was heavier was working really well, it's not working so well now. So we went back to middle from other ranges, because that's the grip that I built the most strength with. I've gotten all to like, you know, a 390 pound bench in training, and then a 380 bench in combat 75 with that grip. So we're just sticking with it. But we kept it at 4 days a week. So instead of it being Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, now it is Saturday, day 1. Monday is my secondary day. Wednesday is my tertiary day, and then Thursday is still my quaternary day. So my day 1 is still a single, then I got my 4x3 back downs. My day 2 will be like a top triple or double, then my 4x6 back downs. My day 3 is just ascending 3x7 close grip work, just to give me a little bit of movement variability and kind of get me out of that position so I'm not feeling as beat up, where I ascend the weight by each set. And then my day 4 is my priming day, where I'll have like a long pause single and then just some comp back down. That's a nice, easy assigned load just to have me feeling good for Saturday. And as far as accessories, we've switched around a bunch of different stuff to try to find what feels good. What we're doing right now is on Monday, the secondary day, we have chest press. And then on my Wednesday workout, we have weighted dips, but instead of like heavier sets of 8 or 6, now we're doing 2 sets of 12. Reason for that is by having the dips a little bit later in the week, it naturally limits the loads that I can do. By having it be sets of 12, it limits the loads I can do even more, but I can get to the exertions that I need to get the stimulus needed without feeling super beat up. Because with having the dips earlier in the week and for like reps of like, you know, 5 to 8, I was getting to a point where, okay, if I push it early the RPE, yeah, the dips feel good, but then it leaks into my bench. But if I pull back on that too much, then I'm not really getting anything out of it. So this is a good compromise for that. So that's essentially what we've been doing with the big 3 lifts for the past 15 weeks, and it's gone great. Like ultimately, like I said, I hit that last block, I hit 551 on squat. I hit 385 on bench, just 2.5 under my best in training and 2.5 over my comp best. And I managed to pull 628, which is my current comp best. So I put up a 710 training total, which is 10 kg over my best total, period, and easily the fattest training total that I've ever hit. So originally the plan was to come in to this meet and try to hit anywhere between, you know, on a bad day, match the 710, but for feeling really good, hit 715 to 720. Then obviously I got sick last week. The plan is still to come in and try to hit 715 to 720, just because I really do feel like I come alive more this past week, and I'm expecting to feel good tomorrow. If not, we'll make the adjustments, we'll take what's there. Probably not, probably still get ignorant, probably push it anyway, because like I said, it's kind of it's a tune-up meet, man. Look, Mark's down here, Teresa AB came down here. They came out of state, man. I didn't come here to play it safe, you know what I mean? Like it's just a meet for fun. So I'm gonna go out there and just do my thing and see how it feels. And ultimately, if things don't go quite the way I want, if I don't feel quite the way I want, I'll know it's just because of the fact that I got sick last week. Because up to that point, I was feeling amazing. So we'll see how things go down tomorrow, man. I know there's a lot of talking, and once again, there was no prep series for this. I just wanted to kind of get you guys caught up with what I've been doing and why. That's all I got to say. See y'all tomorrow. By the way.
Yes, sir.
Save that 15 beans, man.
Yeah.
All right, guys, so fun fact, 15 weeks ago, Brad and I decided that for this first meet at 82.5, obviously I'm not gonna fill a weight class out, right? But our goal was, we wanted to set at least 175 pounds. I weighed in at 79.5 kg. That's 175.2 pounds exactly. So in a great spot there. I think that's one of the things I'm really proud of the most is even last week with being super sick, I was force feeding food as much as I could to make sure that I kept my weight where it needed to be. So that gives me a lot of confidence with how they're going to feel in terms of like, you know, weight in my hands, weight in my back with squat, everything like that. The cool thing, man, is now that I'm not like, because you guys know before I was sitting around like, you know, 169, 170, very lean, and then I would like gut cut and or water cut down to 165 or sometimes even below that. So the fact that I don't have to worry about recomping, all I'm doing is just getting some ascension, some water in, snacking on carbs, just to stay fueled, but nothing crazy. I'm not having like, you know, okay, force a gallon down and then, you know, get some ascension in and get some catalyst in. And I mean, Mark, what else I be shoving down my throat? Pause. But yeah, so I'm just really happy being at a point where I don't have to do that anymore. So yeah, we're chilling, man. Like it's early. I haven't competed this early in a minute, but lifting starts at 10. And yeah, we're gonna see how things go. Alright guys, so not the start that I wanted as far as squats. My legs actually felt really good. Like my legs felt on, I felt on overall. My opener felt really, really good. Second attempt felt good. Felt a little bit heavier on my back than what I wanted it to, but I also realized it was 5 kg more than like, you know, the second attempt I took last block. So decided instead of going for 3A, which would have been 255, just to go, hey, let's just go with 252. Just 2.5 over what I hit in training. Felt very confident for that. And unracking it, it felt decent, but going down into the hole just felt kind of heavy on my back and just wasn't able to drive through it. I think it's probably also like, even though I don't want to admit it, my top hit is probably still a little bit suppressed from, you know, the infection last week, but that's okay. Like I said, this is a tune-up meet. Just got to, you know, keep my head in the game, see what we can do on bench and deadlift, adjust where I need to, and finish out strong. Alright guys, so bench press went well. Obviously outside the range of what I wanted. My original range was 380 to 391, and my real goal was just to come in and hit 385 for the for sure PR and build the total. But a couple things. One, and the biggest thing is that my squat has been feeling much better this prep compared to bench press. So I already knew, okay, if my top end on squat is suppressed, my top end on bench will definitely be suppressed, especially because it felt the most detrained with missing some training from last week before coming into this week. So I already decided, okay, I'm gonna take the opener, I'm gonna take option 2B, which is 352, and I'm gonna just take exactly what I know is left. So just made a small 5 kg jump from there to 363 and managed it. Because I was like, I'm not about to let myself fail a sub 374 bench like on the platform. It's not going down. And the other thing is the fact that I'm used to being on the TSS benches, which are very grippy and sticky. These new Alico benches are slicker than what I'm used to. Was able to really chalk up my upper back and my neck a lot to kind of help compensate, but I could tell I couldn't create as much tension. And then just in general, even as I was warming up, I was like, yeah, my top end's not there. Like, these weights are feeling heavier than what they should. So just wanted to execute what I need to do. My goal at this point, versus trying to force like big numbers and try to force a PR total, because I knew that the PR total was riding on the squat. So the moment I missed that, I'm like, that's out of my mind. I'm not going to force anything with that. I'm mature as a lifter in that sense. So my goal is, okay, let's see if we can still win first place in this weight class. I'm going up against like 3-4 guys, and there's some of that was above me because I missed my third squat, and now I'm kind of like taking the lead again, and then try to see if we can secure the best overall male lifter as well. This is not going to be my best performance. I already know that, but I'm just taking everything one lift at a time, trying to execute and see what we can do. So we'll see how pulls go.
It's being sick and everything, yeah, lock it up and then go for it. It was close. Just bring the hips. I know. One of those things where like...
Do what with the hips?
Bring them through, man.
Okay.
I'm not mad at it. Alright guys, so the meet is done. As far as what happened on deadlifts, so as I told you guys, the original plan was open with 200, then jump to 250, then see what's left between 285 to 290. because I know that if I take like a close to 600 second, it counters for the top end. But simply due to missing my third squat and having to really scale what I did on the third bench and looking at the placing, it's like, okay, I need to, if I take 250, right, and then let's say I think I feel good and I try to like go for that 285, 290 range and then I miss it, I wouldn't have gotten first in my weight class. So I was like, okay, I can take 270 for a second, which is 595, still leave a little bit in the tank to see what's left, and that should wrap up first place for me based upon where everybody else was. So that's what I ended up doing, secure first place on the second. The third attempt was 287.5, would have been a nice small deadlift meet PR, as well as would have secured still the #1 overall spot for me. Didn't get it, so even though I got first in my weight class, I don't think I got the overall spot, but I'll have the final results up on screen just because Mark's about to head out as soon as I'm done with this part of the video. So we'll put the final results up on screen. But honestly, like, I'm not even upset about how the day went because I understand the circumstances. Like, it's one thing, you guys know me, I don't like making a whole bunch of excuses, variables, blah, 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 but it's like, I got sick last week. Like, viral infection led to a bacterial infection, missed some days of training. It's like, it's very hard for that to happen and to be able to like just stay where you want to be, right? But I'm proud of myself for just adjusting the game plan, like adjusting on bench, adjusting on deadlift, changing the goal, like, hey, I'm not gonna force a PR total. Let's just try to see if we can win like the weight class and let's have fun. And I did. And above all, the purpose of this tune-up meet was to see, hey, is what Brad and I doing programming-wise working? And I know it is, based off last block and the fact that I felt good enough to try what I did today, despite being sick. I know we're on the right track. So it's just a matter of continuing to build going into the main meet, which I will be giving you guys more updates on that later. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Appreciate you guys as always. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, go leave a comment down below. Let me know what you did. If not, leave a comment down below. Let me know what can get better. Like the video, share, subscribe. Keep it simple, specific, scientific. I'll catch you guys later.
Appreciate that. I'm gonna get that back, man.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.